is a Variety Sports Network production. Now to your host.
Oh my gosh, this is what happens when you don't have Josh as your engineer. Oh my gosh. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the seventh inning. Oh no, Josh isn't here. The seventh inning stretch. I'm your host, Logan Stone, as always. And with me are two very special guests. Well, one's not very special, not only because he's a regular at this point, but also because he's a Phillies fan. And fuck the Phillies right now, honestly. Like, just fuck. Ryan from BSing Sports, how are you doing? I already know how you're doing.
I'm fantastic. How are you doing, Logan?
You know what? There was a lot of crying and gnashing of teeth. I'm gonna have to call the drywall company. I'm fine. Everything's fine. We're fine. I'm actually a lot more calm than I thought I would be. And then we also have Jason from another podcast, and I can't even remember, but he's a Dodgers fan. So, and I'm the only one not wearing a jersey because I can't do it right now. I can't rep my team right now.
We're not that calm yet.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Jason, how are you doing?
I am well, Logan. It's a pleasure to be back on the show. Looking forward to talking some ball with you and all the other guys.
Good. Yeah. We're going to have special guests on later. Josh may be on later. I don't know.
That better be on.
He may be mad at me. I may have said a couple of choice words about Yadier Molina. I'll get into Yadier Molina in a little bit. I kind of blame the ninth inning on him, but we're going to talk about We're going to talk about Yadi later, and the Cardinals and the Phillies game. We're going to save that one for last because Ryan and I have vested interest in that one. Obviously, we had like a really good day of baseball going. Actually, I mean, it was pretty fun. But let's talk to Jason because I already know how Ryan thought of today. Jason, what did you think of today's games? Was it good for you? Was it fun? Because you're not really invested in any of the games today yet. Well, I guess you're kind of invested, but how did you feel about all the games?
Yeah, you know what, Logan and Ryan, I was actually thrilled with all of the game action that was on today. First and foremost, aside from being a Dodgers fan, I'm just a huge baseball fan. And this is my favorite time of the sports season when I get to see playoff baseball. And when the Dodgers aren't playing until Tuesday, I had a chance to sit back and just enjoy the games that were on today. I got to tell you, I was shocked a little bit that the Seattle Mariners defeated the Toronto Blue Jays. Cal Raleigh starting to etch his name into baseball lore here. That was a fun series. I don't know how deep I should go into the Cardinals-Phillies series, Logan. But I got to tell you that I think out of all the games that were played today, guys, Cleveland, Tampa, St. Louis, Philly, San Diego, New York, and then Seattle, Toronto, the Cardinal-Philly game was the biggest stunner to me today. The Cardinals went into the ninth inning. They were up 2-0. The Phillies came back, scored all their runs in the ninth inning. They got 6 of them. And it was a surprise to me, Logan, because the Cardinals have always been a thorn in the Dodgers side for as long as I can remember. And they've always had quality bullpens year in and year out and quality pitching staffs. And I've never seen – now, you can credit it to the Phillies offense, Ryan, or you can credit it to the Cardinals rotation melting down and some other miscues going on there. But that, to me, was the biggest stunner of the day. I thought St. Louis was going to win. Busch Stadium is a tough place to win in the postseason for a visiting team. But all the games today were great. They were exciting. They were fun. I'm hoping to see more of the same tomorrow.
Yeah, they were really good games. Let's go ahead and just dive right into the first game of the day, and that was Guardians versus Rays.
Tampa.
And
that was my favorite game of the day.
Yeah, I think that was a great game. It had everything you wanted. It had 5 innings of no scoring. It was a pitching, matchup Shane Bieber, Triple Crown 2 years ago, Cy Young, and then Shane McClanahan, who has been the ace of the Rays, and he was a Cy Young favorite at the beginning of the year. He's kind of died off in the middle. But, they started off, they were amazing. 6th inning comes in, Jose Siri, he hits a home run to give the Guardians the lead. I was kind of thinking, okay, this is a big run right here because the Guardians aren't doing anything, and Shane McClanahan has been doing really well. Were you guys kind of concerned at that point, like for the Guardians? Or
in a game, in a game that was going the way that was, like the way that the momentum was flowing and the way that McClanahan was dealing on the other side. Yeah, he had given up a couple singles here and there, but he didn't really have too many high stress situations. So yeah, at that point, I was like, I'm not going to be shocked if this game finishes 1-0. So at that point, yeah, I was definitely concerned. And then obviously the bottom of the sixth happened.
Yeah, and oh, go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, I was just going to say I was kind of shocked by that too, because I was looking a little bit into the crystal ball and knowing that Cleveland, a team that doesn't have a lot of prodigious power in their lineup, and they're one of those teams that has to smack the ball to all sides of the field and really use a lot of contact hitting to their advantage. And with Tampa, their MO is if their starting pitching can shut your best guys in the lineup down for 5, 6, 7 innings, they're gonna wear you out with their bullpen. And I was thinking along those lines too. And then when Josh Naylor came up and smacked that 2-run jack, I was just like, oh my Lord, what happened? So, and with Cleveland, we've seen this before too, where we saw this way back in the World Series when they played the Cubs in 2016. We saw Cleveland have their problems against quality pitching. And when they've had problems with quality pitching, usually you chalk it up as a loss for them, but not today. That was a great game for them and a great come from behind win for the I'm sorry, not the Indians anymore, guys. The Guardians.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And then so bottom of the sixth comes around and who got on base? It was a walk, right?
Yeah. It was,
anyway, somebody got a walk, and Jose Ramirez comes up.
It was Ahmed Rosario. He got a single.
Rosario. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And
I said Naylor. I said Naylor hit the home run. Was it? It wasn't Naylor.
It was J-Ram.
It was Ramirez. Okay, I stand corrected. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
And he hit the home run, and I honestly thought they were going to catch it at the track because it didn't look like it was going to have any carry to it, and he did. And then so they start leading 2-1. And then Kevin Cash, I don't know.
This was Bush League. This was
it didn't. I swear to God, this was just like him being a dick, and he wants a challenge to see if Ahmed Rosario touches second base, and I'm like, you see the replay, you know for a fact that he touched the base, and even if he didn't, there was nothing to, like, it wasn't clear enough to overturn it. So, that was bullshit. And yet another reason why I hate the fucking Rays.
I had a buddy who's a Rays fan. He texted me. He was like, seriously? What's Kevin Cash looking at?
That was stupid. Kevin Cash, I hate him. But yeah, the Shane Bieber comes in. I think he went 8.
7 1/3.
Yeah, 7 1/3. That was honestly unbelievable to me that they went so long in their pitching. Yeah, Ryan, you were talking about it, but like they were doing so well. 2 swings are the only were the only differences really in this game, and it was a great game, honestly.
Rarely anymore do you see a set of pitchers, both starters go 7+ innings in a postseason game anymore. That rarely ever happens. The last game we're going to talk about, Quintana and Wheeler were dealing, and neither one of them hit 7 innings. So, that shows you how rare that this is. It was fantastic pitching. And me being a former pitcher myself, I'm always biased to pitching. So, I love games like this.
Yeah, right. Any last thoughts on this? What do we think about tomorrow? I don't know who's going tomorrow for the Rays, or the Rays and
it's
Guardians.
Glasnow and McKenzie.
Oh, Tristan McKenzie has had a really good year this year, and Tyler Glasnow is obviously a really good one. Oh, look. What's up, Adam? Oh. What's up, Adam?
Third time's a charm?
I guess. I don't know.
What's up, boys?
How are you doing? How do you feel today? Oh, yeah, because you're a Guardians fan today.
Yep, I got my Beaver, and I got the Beaver jersey in the background hanging out. Good game today, obviously.
Obviously, he comes in with his internet like this. So what do you think of today's game?
A hell of a game. It's the only game they let me listen to at work. Like,
Yo, can I get C3PO to decipher that?
Yeah, right. I heard it was the only game he was able to hear today. You there?
Wave your hand.
Okay. Now you're better.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. You
All right,
you
yeah,
got to
we're-
say that again, Adam, because you kind of.
They only let me listen to one baseball game today at work, so I chose the Guardians game.
You need to find a different job.
Yeah.
One
They're
game.
They're like, "Are you really listening to baseball?" I was like, "Yes, it's playoff day." Jay, what's
Right.
going on, man?
Hey, Adam, my man, how you doing? Long time no see, my friend.
I know, right? Way too long. Way too long.
Sorry to hear
work
about
with a
your
bunch of
sorry-
kids?
What's up?
that?
You work with a bunch of kids or something,
Who, me?
Adam? No, Adam.
Sometimes
Like, yeah.
they're just not They're not sports fans.
What the
We can
fuck?
tell. One game. I'm still stuck on that. Listen to one game.
Oh, you listen to baseball? What the fuck? I listen to baseball. Of course, I listen to KOMOX. So never mind. I'm spoiled.
They don't put the TV on because the kids would just sit there and fucking watch TV all day while trying to make food, and it wouldn't be very good.
I think it'd be fine. Okay.
No, they get very easily watching TV and they'll forget what the hell they're doing. They're kids. So
fucking kids. Any last thoughts about the Guardians game? What do we think about tomorrow's game?
I think they sweep.
You think they sweep? I mean,
I
with
do.
Tristan McKenzie, I mean, he's been lights out, and Tyler Glass now it's going to be his third start.
They're only letting them go between 70 and 80 pitches from what I was reading and hearing.
Last
And
time Tyler Glasnow was.
The bullpen did get a lot of rest today for the Rays, so it should be very interesting.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see what they do with Ramirez tomorrow, if they even pitch to him.
Honestly, they probably have to pitch him with how some of the lineup is. But Tyler Glasnow, he hasn't pitched since 2020, I don't think.
No, he missed
Since
all last year.
Yeah. So I think the last game he pitched was the last playoff game was the World Series. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, this is going to be a big. It's going to be interesting for sure. Jason, who do you think wins tomorrow?
You know what? I have to go with Adam on this one. I think Cleveland is going to take it. I just, when they get hot, they can get on a roll, and they can beat you in other ways. I just mentioned a few minutes ago they don't have a lot of prodigious power in their lineup, but they have a lot of good contact hitters. So they have other ways to beat you. And I like McKenzie too, Logan. Tristan McKenzie really took a big step forward in his development this year. He developed about 2 or 3 quality pitches aside from the one quality pitch he had last year. I think Cleveland takes it.
Yeah, Ryan.
I'm gonna say Tampa takes game 2. To me, the jury's still out on Tristan McKenzie. He had a fantastic regular season, and he's going to be one of the better arms in the AL Central and in the AL for some time. But Glasnow's I watched Glasnow pitch multiple playoff games. He's pitched in World Series games. So, yeah, coming fresh off the injury, he's going to be on a pitch count. But this Rays team just finds, the most ridiculous and, incredible ways to win games. So I definitely could see this series going 3 games, truthfully.
This is the one game we did not talk. This is the one series we did not have predictions on last night.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought we predicted it.
No,
I'm pretty sure we did. I think I said the Rays were going to advance.
It says there's no numbers next to it.
Oh, okay. We didn't say how many games we.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Logan picked Cleveland, you picked Cleveland, I picked Tampa,
and you picked Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say. I was like, I swear.
Yeah, we just didn't
Cleveland.
pick how many games. So
how many games?
yeah, I have that sitting in front of me still.
I
think
they sweep
of
tomorrow.
Tristan
Go ahead,
McKenzie
Ryan.
hasn't pitched in the playoffs yet, so that I just need to see it before I believe it, kind of thing.
I think if it wasn't in front of Cleveland fans, Tristan McKenzie would be in trouble. But I think with how Tyler Glasnow has been. Just that he hasn't pitched enough this year. I think they're going to take him out and they're going to take him to the woodshed, honestly. So I think the Guardians are going to sweep tomorrow. So cool. Go Guardians, honestly, because fuck the Rays.
Has anyone asked Jay about the jinx yet?
What jinx?
The bets going on Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, Jimmy Kimmel?
I mean Jimmy Kimmel, sorry.
Yeah.
Wrong guy.
Yeah. So Jason, sorry.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Mookie Betts went on to Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I tend to be a little bit superstitious on occasion. I'm not looking too much into it. He goes on Jimmy Kimmel. Great. Yahoo for Mookie Betts. That's great. Does he paint somewhat of a target on the Dodgers' backs? No, because they already have a large target on their backs. They won 112, 114 games this year, for crying out loud. So, hey, more power to Mookie. Great that he went on Jimmy Kimmel, but Dodgers don't start playing until Tuesday, so I won't worry about that until Tuesday.
If the Dodgers lose in an embarrassment, do you blame Mookie Betts?
No. If the Dodgers lose in an embarrassment, I don't blame Mookie Betts. More than likely, I'll be blaming Cody Bellinger or Chris Taylor or Joey Gallo or some other person. Well, okay, I'm going to stop mincing words. Yeah, I'll blame Mookie Betts if we lose and we go down embarrassingly. All right, enough of that shit. I'm just going to come out and say it right now. It'll be Mookie's fucking fault, all right?
Thank you. I saw that on live yesterday when we were on Adam's thing, and I saw that on Jim. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? This is almost comparable to me, to the Giants going to Cabo the week before the playoff game, that big playoff game a couple of years ago. What are you doing, dude?
Hey, look, I'll give Mookie props for this. He's an extremely confident guy. He's confident in his abilities and his team. I can't fault him for that, at least.
If I was as talented as he was, I'd be pretty confident.
Yeah.
I understand.
Just slightly.
If he goes 0 for 28 or whatever in the series, we know who to blame. Jimmy Kimmel.
Yep.
As always. Next game we want to cover is the Mariners and Blue Jays. Mariners came out in the first inning. I don't even know how they scored because I was in the middle of watching another – I can't even call it a game. I was watching something else. So Brian, do you know how they scored the 4 runs?
Yeah, Suarez doubled home J-Rod, and then Cal Raleigh homered for a 2-run homer.
Home runs were big today, and that's there were 5 home runs today. I read. Oh my gosh!
Pretty sure more than half of them were with from the Mets, though.
Yeah, the Padres had 4 of them in that game tonight.
Yeah.
We'll get in them in a second, but it was Suarez doubled home J-Rod, and then a 2-run homer in the first. So.
Well, that's how all the runs were scored in that Guardians game.
But the real story of that game was Luis Castillo pitching in his first career playoff game, and he looked dominant, man. He looked insane. And Logan, you said it earlier that I was a little suspicious when they paid him all that money to be their ace, and the dude's never pitched in a playoff type game before in his life, and then he comes out and does that, and it's Seattle might have made a good investment.
I mean, yeah, he was earning his paycheck today. I mean, 7 1/3, 6 hits. 5 strikeouts, no walks, no earned runs. I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, and I was looking at the pitch thing. I think that he did 14 pitches one inning, 12 pitches the next, 6 innings, 6 pitches the next inning, 7 pitches. I mean, it wasn't just he got out of a lot of jams. He was dominating most of the game, honestly. Jason, what did you think of this game?
Yeah, I agree with Ryan on this one. Luis Castillo was just flat out filthy, and we didn't know anything about him because he pitched in Cincinnati all those years. Flew under the radar for a very good reason. He's damn good. And the Mariners, going into Toronto, from what I've heard, I've never been to a Blue Jays game at the Air Canada, or not Air Canada Center, but the former Sky Dome. Yeah, Rogers Center. Thank you, Adam. But at the former Sky Dome, it's not an easy place for an opposing team to play and win. But the Mariners, they looked ready for a team that hasn't been in the postseason since 2001. They looked ready, and they came out and made a statement today.
Yeah, that was. I mean, honestly, that was weird because yesterday or last night when we were on Adam's thing, I said I honestly think the fan base in Toronto is going to make a difference, and they didn't. I mean, they didn't do. They were quiet most of the game, honestly. So
Yeah,
it was crickets chirping.
3 runs, and it's going to shut the home crowd up real quick. Luis Castillo had 72.2% strikes.
Yeah,
wow. That's insane.
I mean, that wins you games every time when you're confident in your stuff and you're throwing pitches in the strike zone. That's amazing.
Especially against that lineup, especially against that Blue Jay lineup throwing strikes. That's ballsy.
Yeah, Bichette hit 400 in September.
Yeah, he had 46 hits.
Yeah,
46 hits.
27 RBIs. Dude was on fire.
Yeah, I mean that's really good. But look, I mean, George Springer had 2 hits. Bo Bichette had 1. Vladdy didn't have any hits.
Did he even get pitches to hit?
I'm pretty sure he did. No, he didn't walk.
He got a few of them.
Yeah, so he didn't walk at all. I mean, when you are limiting those guys, that wins you games. Honestly, obviously that's a big lineup because they have Teoscar Hernandez, Alejandro Kirk, and Matt Chapman.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you can limit those big guys, you're going to win the games. Adam, what do you think of this game?
I didn't. I saw the aftermath of 4-0. That's all I saw. And Luis Castillo was lights out from what I saw on the highlights or the stat sheet. Yeah. So it was Friday night in a restaurant. I didn't get a chance to really do much homework, and then I came home and jumped on repping with Gina real quick.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. It was.
I did see the score though. I don't know anything about this Mets game going on. I have no idea. I heard they were booing Scherzer.
Thankfully for Mets fans, it's over.
I heard they were booing Scherzer already and everything else, and I know I was gonna look up some Twitter stuff, but Gina's show ran longer than I expected, so I didn't get a chance to look up much.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends who are Mets fans, and they were like, "Is this the end of Scherzer?" And I was like, "Well, obviously not. Like, he's not going to retire because he's got $90 million left in 2 years." But I mean, if only he didn't pitch on short rest in the Dodgers when he was with the Dodgers. I mean, good Lord, just ruined his entire career.
Well, and I'm going to kind of toss something else out there too, Logan. And I think that Braves series when the Mets got worked by Atlanta in that final series, I think mentally, that messed them up a lot too. It more than anything, it tired them out because they went into that series very cocky. They were absolutely positive they were just going to sweep Atlanta out of the stadium. The Braves went in and just gave them an ass slap from left to right. And I think that Braves series messed them up mentally more than anything.
Yeah, we touched on it last night. The Mets are going to Met. Like they fall apart in September every year. They were going to fall apart in the playoffs. It's what they do. It's the characteristic. As soon as the calendar goes from August 31st to September 1st, the Mets will fall apart. And it's going to happen again. We saw the early stages of it today. Max Scherzer got shelled out of the stadium. They got swept by Atlanta in a series they absolutely had to have. They're just a terrible organization that for some inconceivable reason, no matter how healthy or hurt, they can't win in September or win any big games. And that's just who they are. That's their identity.
Yeah, that was a big thing. They ended up winning 7-1. I didn't watch much of the game. I got busy at work, and so which is unfortunate because I was really looking forward to this game. But
I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, so why don't you go through it with us or for us a little bit, if you don't mind, or if you can remember?
Yeah, not at all. Well, the first thing that really stood out to me was just how effective Yu Darvish was, and I say that with a big compliment because when Darvish was in LA for that season and a half, Dodgers fans rode him like a pine rail for imploding against Houston in the World Series. We later found out one of the reasons why, but what I'm trying to get to is that Darvish tonight had all 5 of his quality pitches working. The knuckle curve was dropping. The bottom fell out on it a lot tonight. And I mentioned to you earlier before the show began, guys, that he broke out the Ephus pitch, man. And Pete Alonso, there was an at-bat Pete Alonso had in the second inning where I don't know what the hell he was expecting, but Darvish threw a nice-looking fastball right at the knees, and Alonso just stood there staring at it like it was a brand-new baseball. And I don't know what he was looking for, but the Mets tonight, they didn't look like a team that was ready to play. The Padres did. Credit the Padres for what they did. Darvish pitched some of the best playoff baseball he's pitched in, and had all of his 5 quality pitches working tonight. And give Padres credit, man. They took advantage of the bad pitches that Scherzer threw. And it was kind of funny because at a couple points during the game, you could see Buck Showalter and some of the other players on the Mets kind of grumbling at the home plate umpire. Rightfully so. I think Scherzer did get pinched on a lot of calls that the Padres weren't getting pinched on. But bottom line, Max laid it out there for San Diego. He was throwing batting practice, and they took advantage of him.
Yeah. That's been his big issue the last couple of years. Max has always been snake bitten by the gopher ball. He'll have those games where he gives up 3 home runs and they just happen to be solo shots, but not this time.
Yeah. Well, Max's problem tonight, Ryan, was that I saw that he couldn't get ahead of the hitters. And like Ryan, you used to be a pitcher. You know that when a pitcher gets ahead of a hitter, he's able to throw the ball a lot more effectively with a lot more confidence. And tonight, Max could not get ahead of the hitters. That's how he finishes them off. When he gets them 0-1, 0-2, 1-2, whatever, that is what he relies on to be dominant. And he didn't get ahead of the hitters tonight, fell behind on a lot of 2-0, 3-0 counts, and he was trying to overcompensate. And the Padres took advantage of it. That was his main Achilles heel tonight.
Yeah, his strike percentage sat right around 58%. So
yeah, it wasn't very good.
Yeah, Darvish, 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, an effective stat line for a pitcher. You can be dominant and not throw a lot of strikes. That's what Darvish was, or not strike out a lot of guys. That's what Darvish was tonight, dominant.
Yeah. I mean, Jerks and Profar came out 2 for 3 with 2 runs, 3 RBIs, and a walk. Juan Soto didn't have anything going for him today. Manny Machado had a hit and a run. Josh Bell had 2 RBIs on the night. The Mets, the Mets, they fell through. And like Jason said, it seemed like whenever they lost the division, when they've had it for so long this year, they had it practically up until the last game. And they just, I think that was a big mental thing for them. And Max Scherzer has just not been who he has been. Oh, by the way, the whole Dodgers joke was a joke because of Jason saying earlier, he was like, I wonder if he's going to blame the Dodgers.
Yep.
Probably will. Probably still will.
Yeah. He blames the Dodgers for everything else. Might as well, Max. Don't stop, man. Keep it going.
Yeah. But, when you have a big lineup like this, you have Brandon Nimmo, who's been really good. Francisco Lindor, who's the face of that franchise, basically. Jeff McNeil, who's been a really great player, especially the last month. Pete Alonso. You have a stacked lineup like this, and to not be able to capitalize on this when you need to. But like we said last night, the Padres were just really hot in September, especially the last 2 weeks. I think in the month of September, the entire starting rotation had a 1.4 ERA. And that'll win you games for sure.
Yep.
We just saw it this night, tonight. So let me ask you, looking like the Padres are going to be the ones facing the Dodgers, are you worried about them seeing how good they played tonight? Because obviously the Mets were not in it. Are you a little worried as a Dodgers fan, or?
To be honest with you, no. Ultimately, in the long run, because the Padres lineup is so much different when they have Fernando Tatis in it. And Tatis is not in that lineup, and he's not going to be in it for another half season. And I'm not saying this to say that the Padres aren't good. They're a good ball club. but they don't have that same explosive, dynamic offense that they have when Fernando Tatis is in the lineup. And look, in the regular season, Dodgers beat LA. Out of the 19 times they played him, they beat San Diego this year 15 times. So take that for what it is, for what it's worth. But I think looking at a possible Padres, Dodgers, NLDS matchup, Logan, I'm not concerned because I think in a 5-game series, LA wins out. The Padres pitching does concern me a little bit because LA has never hit Yu Darvish well. And Blake Snell gives them fits up until the 6th inning. And then when he gets to the 6th inning, he just tends to lose it. Yeah, and then Joe Musgrove has to be reminded every single time why Justin Turner actually is good and is a threat because Turner owns him like a baby doll. So, I think in a 5-game series, Dodgers will end up winning if it's San Diego.
Okay. Yeah.
We talked about that last night.
Blake Snell always does good in the 6th inning until Kevin Cash flies in from Tampa and then comes in and removes him himself.
Right.
Something else we talked about last night, the usage of DeGrom. You got to think he's going game 2, right?
He has to.
I know they weren't going to use him until dire situations, but if you lose tomorrow, you're going. There ain't no day after that. Like
this is a dire situation,
DeGrom, right?
And look, Buck Showalter is an old school manager. He's one of the last old school managers out there. He's not one of these analytic nutheads who's going to trot out a pitcher based on what his laptop computer says. He's going with DeGrom tomorrow. And if Buck Showalter doesn't go with DeGrom tomorrow, he needs to be fired.
Yeah, honestly, I was going to say, if he doesn't go with DeGrom and they lose, even if they win, he's probably out the door. That's not going to be a popular move. Who is it going to be going for? You said, was it Snell tomorrow?
Snell's going for San Diego.
Snell's going for San Diego tomorrow.
Yeah. Do we think it's going to go for a sweep? Let's just say that it's DeGrom and Snell tomorrow. Is it a sweep?
Yes, absolutely.
Jason?
I agree with Ryan. I think it's going to be a sweep.
Okay. And Adam?
Ryan, you took the sweep, but me and Logan took them to win in 3. Padres.
Did we?
But we all took the Padres.
Well,
The Mets are just so bad. Like at the end of this, they're so terrible.
yeah.
I hate to show my Phillies fandom. It's just laughable because this is a story that they've written for themselves over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's the Mets curse. Honestly, it's a horrible curse to have. I don't know any. Well, I think I am cursed because I'm a Cardinals fan. But let's go back. Let's go back to the Mariners and Blue Jays game. How do we feel about tomorrow? I think it's Robbie Ray versus
Gausman.
I took Seattle to sweep, so I'm sticking with Seattle.
Yeah, I took Seattle to win in 3. I think.
You took Seattle in 3.
Yeah, I think Ray probably gets hit around a little bit. He's got a bit of a history of being a little wild on the road sometimes. So give me Gausman at home.
Yeah. Jason,
who's my favorite college pitcher, by the way, when he was at LSU.
Nice. I'm going to agree with Ryan. I'm going to go with Gausman too. He induces a lot of ground ball outs. I think he's had one of the most effective ground ball out ratios in baseball among pitchers who threw at least 180 innings or more the last 2 or 3 years. That's going to come into play for a Seattle team that does have power. But I like Gausman and the Blue Jays to rebound tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm probably going to go with Gausman also just because Gausman is Gausman.
Which
Robbie Ray.
Crazy to say that now because, when he was drafted top 10 twice, and then, he sort of made a bust out of himself. Nobody would have thought that. Then he kind of rejuvenated himself with the Giants.
Giants last year, yeah. Yeah, with the Orioles are probably kicking themselves because he's all of a sudden great now.
Think about all of a sudden great pitchers the Orioles let go. Messina, Arrieta, Gausman.
Was Arrieta great though?
What?
Not when he was with Baltimore, no.
Well,
but once Arrieta left, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
I guess I can only think of him that 1 year with the Cubs, but that's a little bit biased to me. Okay.
Well, I mean, when you only pay attention to your division, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we were podcasting then where we had to pay attention to everything.
Yeah. I pay attention to everything. Okay, let's talk about this game. I can't even say it. Cardinals versus Phillies.
I'll let them go first.
Yeah, Ryan and I honestly, I wasn't expecting to be texting Ryan so much during the game, and then I was like, I texted him the entire game. We were like, "Fuck!" I think we both said it multiple times. We were like, "God damn it!"
Yeah.
But anyways, Adam, do you have any thoughts on this game?
Well, I texted you after I saw the score. I was like, "Did you break anything?" And then I asked Ryan if he was pumped.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I saw 4 hours ago where Ryan tweeted something about the Phillies haven't scored any runs in the last 14 innings or something.
I was keeping track, man, and then it got to 17, and I was like, "We're gonna lose 2-0 to these assholes, man." I was like, "God damn it!"
And then all of a sudden, I seen the ninth inning. I was like, "What the fuck happened?" Like it wasn't like whoa. It was like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah. Jason, what
is this dude gonna pitch anymore? Was he hurt? I read Ryan's little tweet there too, saying Hensley was hurt. I don't know. Like, why would you have a guy pitch if he was hurt?
I think the thing is that he agitated injury on his finger.
What a blister
that he got from he got a line drive off the finger the other day against the Pirates, which I don't even know why he was pitching against the Pirates.
Because we're good.
Yeah. And so that's why he got taken out. But honestly, before Jason, what do you think of this game?
Okay, all right. Well, first of all, my head was moving back and forth like a bobblehead doll in the ninth inning, man. That's how crazy this game was for me. And I'm still trying to, Logan, with all due respect, my man.
It's fine.
I'm still trying to decide if this was just a Cardinals fuck up, or if this was just an epic Phillies comeback. I mean, there are also a lot of things that went wrong in this game on both sides. But, I mean, this was one of those games where it shouldn't have happened, but it did. But, look, Ryan, giving credit to your Phillies, man, there's a reason why they're called the Fighting Phils for a reason. They played all 27 outs. They did not lay down. And, again, my head was like a bobblehead doll watching this game. I was just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
Before I dive into the Phillies part, I want to say, as just a general baseball fan, this is the stuff that makes this sport awesome.
Yeah.
2-0 for 8 innings. You're thinking pitcher's duel, every pitch matters. And then a team that was laid down for 8 innings, boom. This is why every pitch matters.
Yep.
Now, as a Phillies fan, what the fuck are we doing for 8 innings? Like, Kevin Long is the worst fucking hitting coach in the league, because my God, we were going up there embarrassing ourselves. We got dudes swinging at first pitches in the first inning. Jose Quintana's like throwing 8-pitch innings and shit because we got guys just hacking at everything. It was embarrassing. We got nobody keeping their hands back. I think every curveball he threw was a hanger in the middle that got rolled over right to Arenado because nobody knew how to keep their weight back. They didn't look like a professional team hitting for 8 innings. Thank God Wheeler was on, because this game should have been so much worse. The Phillies played absolutely horrendous offensive baseball for 8 innings, and I'm going to sit here and continually bash them for that. I said on the show last night that I was genuinely concerned about this Phillies offense. Take this 1 inning out of it. The 8 innings are the trend that we're seeing. I'm very fearful for the Phillies for the rest of this series, because that offensive performance minus the 9th inning was worse than what I actually thought it was going to be, and it was bad. Now the 9th inning rolls around, and all of a sudden everybody knows how to take a pitch. Everybody knows how to work the count. And I'm like 3, 4, 5 guys who haven't done squat all day, and I'm like, the bases are loaded. I'm like, I can't wait till we roll into a game-ending double play with the bases loaded and 1 out, and then he hits Bohm on the hand. And I was like, oh my God. I was losing my mind. Like, at that point in time, I was losing my mind. And then that was when the
Texan Logan.
that was when Helsley got hurt. And I remember Helsley shut us down in the ninth inning a couple times. I was like, man, this kid's gonna be legit. And I probably had some like bias oversight on this. I was furious when the trainers went out to the mound. Furious. I was like, this is the most Bush League shit I have ever seen in my life. He is not hurt. He is getting shelled, and they're giving the guy time in the pen to warm up. Let's be a little bit honest.
It may have been. I think whether or not I will say, I'll let you finish that point, but I think you're kind of right. I think he was hurt, but I think no matter what, that was his last hitter. Was it Bohm that he hit in the hand?
Yeah.
I think no matter what, that was his last hitter. So
I had not known prior until you said something after that he had injured that finger before, and it could have been a re-aggravation. But not knowing that information, just watching what was unfolding, I just sat there with my hands in my lap. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
And then my laptop started freaking out. So the way that I had to watch the game was pull up the MLB.TV game day on my phone. Like it has the trackers for the pitches. And then I put on the radio audio so I could hear Kevin Fransky for the Phillies calling the game as I'm watching the MLB. So that's why I stopped answering you, Logan. And I just, the whole thing unraveled. I was like, dude, what in the hell? I was like, I'm watching every game like this. I was like, if we're going to score like this, I'm watching every game like this. But yeah, I'm genuinely concerned for the Phillies in all honesty. So that's point. I mean, thank God for Wheeler. Alvarado, it is what it is. Pinch hitter came in. He laid him a meatball to try and get ahead 0-1 and made him pay for it dearly. But I'm not concerned about the Phillies pitching. I'm definitely concerned about their offense.
Yeah. Okay, before I get into that, because I think this needs to be like I need to go through not the entire game, but the last 3 innings, honestly, because the 7th inning is where it got to me. So in the 7th inning, I mean, first of all, let's talk about Quintana and Wheeler being just awesome. And I was texting Ryan. I said, Quintana, he's a fucking artist. He was just, I mean, the way he kind of is so deceptive with his pitches. He looks like you're about to get a meatball, and then all of a sudden it breaks on you, and then it turns into a ground ball. And so he was really great. It was amazing. I was very impressed with him. I think it was his first ever playoff game.
I think it was too. He was outstanding. I'll give credit where credit's due. He was outstanding. He was incredible. Kept him in a rocking chair all night.
Yeah. And then Wheeler, I mean, he doesn't need to do the deceptive shit. He's just going to blow that shit right by you, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it. So, yeah, that was a really cool pitching duel. They take Wheeler out. I know he was at 96 pitches, but I don't understand. I don't understand why you didn't let him finish the inning. I guess he walked the Carlson. Did he walk Carlson?
The only batter he faced in the 7th, he got out.
Oh, yeah, he got.
Yeah.
So Alvarado comes in, walks Carlson, and then Yepez gets a pinch hit. He's pinch hitting for Dickerson, and he hits a two-run home run. Cardinals are losing their minds because, I mean, the bullpen is typically really good. Okay, so they take Quintana out. He goes 5 1/3. That's fine. Jordan Hicks comes in, finish off the inning, and then they bring in Giovanni Gallegos. Giovanni Gallegos is the setup man. He's not supposed to come in. I believe, he came in the 7th inning, which I think started the whole thing. So he went an inning, left in the 8th, and then they bring in Ryan Helsley, who shuts down the Phillies in the 8th, and that's great. So the 9th inning comes along, and I think there are 3 big things that happened. Ollie Marmol, like I said, brought in Helsley way too early, and he brought Gallegos way too early, which has been something that he's been doing the last couple of months that I've hated multiple times. Second is Yadier Molina. When you look at that at bat versus Harper, which the guy before Helsley had given up a hit, I believe it was a single. It was a single to Real Muto. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, it seemed like we were walking on eggshells here. And Yadier Molina, which everyone wants to talk about, how like he takes command of the situation and he's always so good and he makes pitchers better and he adds confidence. He started setting up on Harper way down and away and trying to get all cute with the strike zone. And Helsley is throwing right where Yadi is saying. And of course he walks it because Yadi is setting up outside of the zone.
And this is a guy in Harper who's been a complete liability since he came off the IL. I mean, he's been on his heels every at bat. He don't look the same yet. He's not ready to play baseball.
Yeah, he didn't have a hit the entire game. And for some reason they decided that they needed to Yachty decided to just pitch around him. I don't get that. And so all of a sudden he walks Harper and then Castellanos comes up, and I think he walks too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like all of a sudden we were playing a game where we were managing pretty well. I mean, we were doing really well, and I think Helsley had it, but for some reason, Yachty was like, "Okay, well, we got to strike these guys out. We got to get really we got to overthink everything." And then it ended up like Helsley was just like, just let me throw the fucking ball down the middle. He throws 105 miles an hour. What the fuck are you doing? Jesus Christ. Throw a goddamn curveball. Throw a fastball. That's all you need to do, Yachty. That's all you need to tell him to do. You don't need to go to the fucking mound and say, oh, you got to do this with Harper because Harper used to be an MVP. He sucks right now. Sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
he sucks right now.
He's batting 186 since he came off the IL. If I was Helsley, I would have attacked him. I would have attacked Castellanos too. He's been a complete shit show since he signed here.
And then the same thing with Nick Castellanos. He strikes out a lot. I'm pretty sure. I mean,
on every slider or breaking ball down and away in the dirt, he's going to swing at it. I would bet my fucking apartment on it.
But Helsley wasn't being deceptive at all. And everyone in the crowd knew that. I knew that, and I was 5,000 miles away.
There was 8 innings of baseball that showed you the Phillies can't hit if you put the ball in the strike zone.
It was this entire shift. All of a sudden, it was like, oh, we're going to pitch really carefully to these guys, and we're going to be deceptive. And it's like, no, just throw the damn ball. And this had been a problem with the Cardinals like 2 years ago, last year even, where they just all of a sudden they just break down and then they decide, oh, we gotta throw around the plate. We can't throw inside the plate at all. And I think I blame this completely on Yachty, honestly, because that shifted everything. Because then he walks Castellanos, who I think you could have gone because he gone after because he didn't go. He didn't have a hit the entire game either, and he looked bad. And then so you bring Alec Bowman, and all of a sudden Helsley's fingers shot, and so he hits Alec Bowman for a 2-1 lead. And this is another thing that killed me. This was the third thing. Ollie Marmol has done this a lot this year, and I hate that he did it, and I wish that this backfired on him in the wild card. But he starts bringing defensive replacements in the last inning. I don't like that ever. First of all, it's if they for some reason tied it or got the lead, you have Paul DeYoung and DeLuzio, and there was another hitter. I can't even remember who you have. Paul DeYoung has a 157 batting average on the year. On the year, the only reason why he's on the playoffs is because he's on the playoff roster is because he's really good defensively. DeLuzio he's only had 2 hits, I think, this entire year. And so if they tie it, they're screwed because now all you have is Yachty, Albert, he sucks offensively too. Anyone who defends Yachty right now can suck my dick. Honestly, fuck you. I honestly hope the Cardinals lose tomorrow because then Yachty will be out of my fucking life. Yachty, I hope the door doesn't kick you in the ass on the way out. Jesus Christ.
You mean his 53 OPS plus on the season?
Fuck you. Sorry, not you. Fuck you. Fuck Yachty. And so, and
I saw that stat and I was like, what in the fuck is he still doing
but
playing
you
baseball?
can't talk shit about him because he makes the pitching better and he's great defensively. Fuck you, Yachty. Anyways.
So, Logan, question for you: is Adam Wainwright starting Game 2 tomorrow?
No, he's not. He's worse. He's got dead arm. No, I would rather have Michaelis on, honestly. And Michaelis is. I think Michaelis is the best one right now.
He is. Okay. I think I saw he is starting tomorrow.
Yeah, it's Nolan Michaelis. Yeah,
but yeah. So they hit Alec Boehm to get a 2-1. And then it all like Palante came in. Palante, he's a rookie. He should never have been brought in. Also, for some reason, Ollie Mermal didn't have a second guy warming up. I know he had Flaherty warming up in the bullpen, but then he sat him down. So like all of a sudden he gives up on the Cardinals in the 9th inning, and then the bottom of the 9th comes out, and of course, all your offensive guys are gone. Yepez is gone. Not Dickerson. Brendan Donovan is gone. Carlson is gone. So, I mean, this was so bad managing. This was so bad on so many parts. Arenado let a ball pass him. The Cardinals gave up, and everybody knew it. And this is a game that, I mean, in the 9th inning, the Phillies had no business winning this game in the 9th inning. None. Like Ryan said, like they were sucking the entire game. Honestly, they and the Cardinals honestly were too, except for that 2-run home run. But they were both outmatched by Quintana. But I mean, good and Wheeler.
So funny hearing him say he's helped pitch by Quintana.
You know. The whole game was, I mean, the first 8 innings, the Phillies offense was embarrassing. And then in the 9th inning, the Cardinals, Yadier Molina, well, in your words, was embarrassing.
I texted you and I was like, I bet you, I almost put money on it. I said, I bet you Yachty is going to swing at the first pitch for a ground ball.
You did say that. You were like, I bet you Yachty swings at the first pitch and loses the game for us.
But luckily he struck out, which honestly, this is completely true. I'm not being facetious at all. I was honestly kind of happy he struck out because if he had swung at the first pitch, I would have lost my shit, and I would have like put some bad juju on him. I would have called on Satan through the Ouija board and said, please find a way to get rid of him forever. I mean, good Lord.
He got kind of lucky because before he struck out, the pitch before he should have got rung up too. That was right on the corner.
Oh my gosh.
The umpiring that game was terrible. Like in the beginning, I was like, dude, the Cardinals are getting all these high pitched calls, and then like the Phillies started getting like some weird ones too, and I was like, good fucking God, man. I was like, DJ Rayburn, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like,
it was bad in the 9th inning.
I was just thinking, watching this game today about Zach Wheeler, Ryan, because I don't know if you guys are aware how long this guy has been in baseball. If you recall, he came up in the San Francisco Giants organization way back. He was traded
in the Beltran deal
Beltran deal, and then he was prized prospect in New York. He didn't pan out because of his elbow injuries, and then he ended up signing with the Phillies. But I mean, Wheeler has been in the game for a long time, so I don't think that had any bearing on how well he did today. But it got me to thinking, wow, this guy. He's been in the game for a long time. He's been around the block.
Yeah. What do you guys have any other thoughts on this? Sorry, I kind of got a little loud there.
Well, actually, I have another thought, Logan, because Yadier Molina has always been considered one of the best, one of the best in-game managers as a catcher. No. But
Yeah.
where I'm going with this, just would you shut the fuck up and listen to me for a minute? All right.
No, I am. I am. When you say that, I think of all the Cardinals fans in my ear for the past 10 years. Sorry.
Logan, I actually had a question for you.
Yeah.
All right. Do you think that this atrocious game calling by Yachty today was entirely his decision, or was it him constantly looking over at the bench, getting signals from Ollie Marmol? Do you think Marmol's more to blame for this, or is it Molina?
No. You know why? Because this past, 17 years he's been the catcher for the Cardinals. You know what I've had to listen to over and over again is, oh, Yachty takes care of the situation. He makes everybody better. And so and he comes up with everything on his own. That's fine if you want to say that. And I'm not saying you're saying this. I'm saying Cardinal fans and everyone who says this.
Yeah.
But you have to take that with if you're going to give him credit for all this, you got to give him the blame for this one. You can't blame, oh, this is Yachty or Ollie's fault because he called all this shit. No, this is all Yachty. Yachty does this, and he got cute. He's done this the last couple of years where he tries to get cute. I think honestly, it's a little bit of an ego thing. Honestly,
well, he is going to be managing Team Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic, so maybe he was just kind of warming up for his managerial debut there.
Yeah,
maybe. So we know Team Puerto Rico is not a threat. Thank God.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Well, apparently defense wins championships, and fuck that. The defense didn't show up there when they needed it. Anyways,
I was surprised by the ball that got under Donovan's glove, and then the ball that got past that ball that Arenado didn't feel. I don't know if Segura blocked his view or if the sun got in his eye. Something was weird. That was a play Arenado definitely should have made. And then the fact that they ruled it a single, I was like, I don't hate Arenado because he's on the other team, but that's some fucking bullshit, man. That's some specialty treatment right there. Like, oh, we can't give Arenado an error. No, that was a fucking error.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. If he just lost it, because I don't think he got a glove on it. Because it seemed like it still had a lot of velocity going into the outfield. The one thing I thought was stupid was the hit to Goldschmidt by I don't know who it was that he threw to the catcher that he threw to Yachty that scored another run. I think it was the fourth run.
Yeah, we had a good debate on our show about 5 hours ago about that. That debate lasted about 10 minutes. And the guys were like, why didn't he just step on first and take the easy out? I'm like, motherfucker, it's the top of the ninth in the best of 3, game 1 in the playoffs. You throw the ball home. That's why you have the corners in.
Well, I guess they called it a single and not a fielder's choice because Goldie was too far from the plate or from the bag from first base.
Like 3 steps from. They called that a single.
Okay. Yeah, they called it a single and not a fielder's choice. That's what I was curious about. Yeah, I don't get that. Oh yeah, you had the thing muted. Never mind. That's why.
Yeah, Goldie. I mean, I saw the replay of it. Goldie looked like he could have looked down and spiked the baseball at first base if he wanted to.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah. Does anybody else have any thoughts on this game tonight or today?
So you didn't break anything?
No, I punched the bar, but that was it. I took I took a shot of Jägermeister, and my boss. Oh my god, I almost quit tonight, but that's another thing. Again, my boss, he doesn't know jack shit about baseball. He doesn't even like baseball, and I'm watching the Cardinal game, and he's like, "Well, why did they do it?" I'm like, "Shut the fuck up, dude. I need to not listen to you right now." Anyways,
go back and watch your CONCACAF soccer, idiot.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. He watches football, so he's a numbnuts. Anyways, don't worry, he doesn't watch this show. Even if he did, fuck you, Scott.
Hey, we got a shout out on the show.
God, what the fuck? Don't worry. Even if I said it, if he saw this, he would be too much of a pussy to confront me tomorrow. Anyways, game 2 is tomorrow at 8:30. Michaelis versus Nola. Adam, what do you think tomorrow?
Man, Did this wake up the Phillies bats?
God, I hope so.
If it did, I think your Cardinals are in trouble. And I know I picked the Cardinals, but after seeing them bats come alive and a lot of mental mistakes, sometimes these mental mistakes lead into the next game. Asked the Red Sox about the 86 Mets. Still had one more game to go after Buckner hit that thing through the legs,
Yeah.
I think I want to change my thing, and I'm saying the Phillies sweep this thing if their bats stay hot.
That's a huge if.
Jason?
Logan, I'm almost afraid to go against the Cardinals for fear that you're going to reach your hands through that screen and just choke the god-living pissing life out of me. But I'm actually going to go for the Cardinals. I think they were embarrassed tonight. They were humiliated. They had their assholes ripped out through their mouths. I think they're going to come back. They're going to rebound. I think they tie the series tomorrow, 1 game apiece, 1-1. So I think it'll be a 3rd game going back to Philadelphia.
Actually, it won't be.
It's all in
St. Louis. Staying in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, I stand corrected then. Either way, I think St. Louis comes back and rebounds and wins tomorrow.
Yeah, this is an awkward thing. They're doing all 3 games in one city instead of flying back and forth.
I think it's fair. I mean, the Cardinals won a division and the Phillies didn't, so they don't deserve a home game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Also, they don't want to oh my gosh, they want to give as much of an advantage to the top 2 teams, which I think is fair because I mean a lot of times we've seen the wild card teams, and I've been a beneficiary of this, where the wild card team comes in and then they just are hot, and then they destroy the top seed team.
Oh, you mean like the Atlanta Braves? Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ryan. That was. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that. I was not trying to totally jab at you right there. Listen, I think we're even right now. So that was a horrible game for me. Okay.
I think one of the game-changing moments that nobody brought up upon was that Nolan Arenado fly ball he hit, in the 5th that did not get out of the park. I have no idea how that thing stayed in.
Busch Stadium is a horrible place to hit a ball. I swear to God, especially in October. There are so many balls that should have been like home runs in the past, and that have just died. Because the wind just comes in from that side and it blows into home plate, and so the ball just dies. Like that should have been a home run right there, but luckily enough, it wasn't. Ryan, what do you think?
I'm going Phillies in 2. This is one of them losses, as the Cardinals players, you're going to wake up tomorrow, you're going to go to the clubhouse, and nobody's going to say anything. You're just going to kind of look around at each other, and it's almost going to be a vibe of what the fuck just happened, and the big key here is, can the Phillies bats build off of this? Because I'm still concerned about their hitting, but Nola's got their number this year too. So, but like I said last night, if the Phillies can't get this done in 2, I'm going Cardinals in 3. I just don't have any faith in the Phillies in a 3-game series, so they got to get it done tomorrow night.
Yeah, I said yesterday that the first game was going to be an important game. Whoever won that had a huge advantage, for obvious reasons. But I think just because of how good the second set of pitchers were going to be. So I think the Phillies sweep tomorrow. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm really happy. Honestly, I'm rooting for the Phillies, honestly, because if the Cardinals come back and win this series, I'm going to be pissed still because they're going to lose in the next round probably, and it's going to piss me off. And honestly, it feels dirty to win like this. And I don't know why. It just it's my pettiness and how much I love this team, but also hate this team. So yeah, I think the Phillies sweep tomorrow. Bye, Yachty. Bye, Albert. Sorry, Albert. Couldn't get you a last World Series ring, but you know what? You shouldn't have fucking left. So,
I live a couple hours from Atlanta, so it'd be pretty cool if the Phillies advanced. I might think about going to catch a game or something.
I'd love to see that new park. It's not called SunTrust anymore, but
Truist.
That's amazing. 1 year and they already changed the name.
I know, right? It looks like a beautiful ballpark, though.
It does.
Yeah, it's nice.
You been there?
Yeah.
I have not. That one is still on the bucket list.
I bought a Tom Glavine jersey there because he was my favorite pitcher growing up.
Okay.
One of them, anyway.
So before the show, I asked everyone to have a player of the day. Sorry, Adam, I forgot to tell you this, but so who wants to go first? I think if we all have the same one, that's fine. We can piggyback, but if we feel like, someone just said everything that we were going to say, then we can switch it up.
Player of the day?
Yeah, player of the day. Who stood out to us during the day? Jason, let's start with you.
My player of the day, I got to go with my man, Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners, man. Hit that 2-run home run. He is etching himself into Seattle Mariners baseball lore. And like I said at the beginning of the show, guys, for a team that hasn't been in the postseason since 2001, the Mariners looked awfully ready tonight. Cal Raleigh got it done for the Mariners today. He's my player of the day.
Yeah, I'm really glad that the Mariners won today. I hope they win tomorrow too, just because I hope they win the series, honestly, just because I like them so much. They're my boys, and Julio Rodriguez is just so fucking good. Ryan, who do you got?
I'm going to go same team, but I'm going Luis Castillo. On the road in the Rogers Center, 55,000 loud people. First playoff start, you got your big money. All the pressure's on you. 7 shutout innings, like it's no big deal against one of the hottest lineups in baseball. So Luis Castillo, player of the day.
Yeah. Adam, who do you got?
Wind blowing in, Jose Ramirez hitting that 2-run bomb in the bottom of the 6th to give the Indians that 2-1 lead. Don't get me wrong, Jose Siri hit the home run too in the same spot, apparently. I didn't see the game, but they both stood at the right center, so I guess the wind was blowing into the right.
That's like the one guy in the Guardians lineup you got to look out for. Like,
he bats what, 7th, 8th?
Jose Ramirez, he bats 3rd, I think.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Siri. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah. Why pitch to him? I brought that up earlier. I guess that should have been my key to the player of the game. But I didn't know we were doing a player of the game. So
yeah.
But yeah, definitely I'm going Jose Ramirez.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Luis Castillo just because, he's never pitched in the playoffs before. It's his first game. There's got to be a lot of pressure. First, you're playing in Rogers Center, which is one of the hardest places to pitch if you're the away team. That the fan base is just amazing there, and you pitch and you pitch so dominantly. Like I said earlier, like there were pitches innings where he just pitched 6 pitches. And then he got out of the inning pretty quickly. And he allowed 6 hits, but no runs. And that's a statement game right there. That's a game that I think is going to follow him for the rest of his career. And the Mariners right now look fucking like geniuses because they just gave him an extension last week. So yeah, that's a big we got a little bit of time left, so I wanted to go over some news and also talk about, Aaron Judge. So sorry, Adam and not Jason, Ryan, because, I just told you guys this last night. But Aaron Judge hit number 62, breaking the AL home run record. Oh, no.
This is gold.
Hello, Logan.
All right, Logan's computer froze. So should we go into what he was saying? Because we listened last night, right?
Yeah, so Aaron Judge hit number 62. Some fan, he was actually there, so he can give a better experience of it. But apparently some fan fell over the railing, going for the ball. There was some craziness involved there. My big thing is I don't care what Roger Maris says. Like it's the AL record. It's not the MLB record, no matter how bad Maris wants it to be. Yeah, we all know, we get it. There was some weird stuff going on in the 90s, but it happened. So it is what it is.
It's become our show, right?
Well, that's funny because I can't end this show. So I guess the show goes on until he gets back.
We're not going to let it fail. We both like Brandon and these guys.
Jason, what's your thought on Judge hitting 62?
This actually has a little bit of personal meaning for me, guys, because Aaron Judge played college ball at Fresno State. I live in Fresno. I went to Fresno State. I covered Aaron Judge when I wrote for the college newspaper, The Collegian. And I am just so thrilled that he is having this epic season, not only for just taking the big gamble on himself and turning down over $200 million in the offseason, but he really is a very humble kid. When I covered him in college, very, very down to earth, very honest about where he came from, this small town in Northern California that barely, it's big that you could pick the whole town up and put it in the island of Manhattan, and there would still be 7 miles to spare. But I'm glad to see Aaron get this record. I'm glad to see him do it in pinstripes. Totally great gesture by him to let the fan have the ball. Now, whether Cooperstown decides otherwise, that's for another debate for another show. But I agree with you guys, too. I think, look, as far as what happened way back during the steroids era, as fans, we need to move on from it. Let bygones be bygones. Is it a bad era? Yes, it is. But let's quit comparing Aaron Judge to Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire. Let's just enjoy the moment. And remember, this is another reason what makes the game of baseball so great is you can be Aaron Judge, you can be Luis Castillo, you can be Yu Darvish. Anybody can stand on the mantle of greatness in baseball and become great at any given time. Aaron Judge has proven that. Let's just enjoy the fucking moment, enjoy the beauty of this game and what Aaron Judge has given us this year. I love it. Way to go, Aaron. You may be wearing pinstripes, not Dodger blue, but I'm rooting for you, buddy. Go Fresno State, Bulldog born, Bulldog bred.
Well, shit, he might wear Dodger blue next year. They buy up all the big free agents, so.
Well, yeah, I think it's more likely he ends up in San Francisco next season than the Dodgers, but that's debatable too.
You got to think New York's going to bust out the paycheck, the checkbook, and go over the luxury tax to pay him. But sorry, Logan, welcome back.
Yeah. Sorry, my apparently my charger came out of my computer whenever I hit the.
Did you throw your computer against the wall, Logan?
No,
be honest, man.
No, I didn't. I didn't today. And for some reason, the lighting is fucked up. But anyways,
Okay. You got 2 hosts on this show that know how to take over if something fails.
And Adam. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Sorry. I love you, Adam.
Dude, that was smooth, man. That was right there.
Yeah, I'm not very good at this shit anyway. I'm still learning. That's
No,
okay. I'm still learning.
Kidding.
The only thing we were talking about we couldn't do is end the broadcast because we're not in the StreamYard.
Yeah, I was might as well keep the show going. We can't stop it.
Yeah, I was gonna pull it up on my phone real quick and make until my thing came back on, but I realized I'm not even the host on the phone. So anyways.
So what you missed was Jason covered Judge in college.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was telling Adam and Ryan that Aaron Judge played his college ball at Fresno State. I live in Fresno. I went to Fresno State around the same time he did, and I covered him for the school newspaper when I was a sports writer for them. And I was just telling these guys, Logan, how great it is. School newspaper when I was a sports writer
Brandon,
for them.
you gotta turn your volume down.
What?
You gotta turn
Get
your volume down.
out of YouTube.
Yeah.
Get out of YouTube.
We hear it too much, Brandon. But hi, Natalie. I know. Okay, hold on, because Jason, Adam, and Ryan, Brandon is probably gonna rip me a new asshole because I talk shit about Yachty. So.
Okay, Yachty is the best, hands down.
Oh my god!
Oh.
No wonder you like Josh so much. You both suck his dick so much. Oh my god! Sorry, Brandon. Brandon, do you have any thoughts on this game, real quick?
What for the first game of the Phillies and Cardinals?
Yeah.
I thought it was a little bit of a pitcher's duel for most of the game. I watched pretty much the whole thing. Yepes came in big with the 2-run homer, and then I thought a little bit of it was on Marno for not pulling Helsley a little bit earlier because of the whole deal with his finger or the blister on his finger, whatever the hell the whole deal was. But
he got a line drive off the finger apparently in the Pirates series. I don't remember it because I wasn't watching. So thanks, Pirates fans.
Yeah.
Hey, we finally did something good for Philadelphia today.
Amen.
Yeah. But other than that, I thought it was a strong pitcher's duel between Quintana and Wheeler. Those guys both pitched pretty lights out. Pretty shut everybody out for the most part. They're both teams they were doing pretty well for the most part. But yeah.
Terrible
God,
game.
you got the pipe
Yeah, that was an absolutely PG version versus what you and I did.
Yeah, right.
Slightly a little
I'm sure Josh is
intoxicated as
somewhere-
well. So
I'm sure Josh is more mad at me than the Cardinals right now, wherever he is. Oh, hi, Natalie. I do love you, Natalie, by the way. You're still my favorite, even though you don't even like me that much, apparently. Whatever.
right.
But anyway.
sorry guys, I got to get going though. I just wanted to jump on for a few minutes.
See you, Brandon. Thanks for coming.
See ya. Yep.
Thanks for coming on.
See you guys. Don't end this.
So, so anyways, now 3 times the charm. So I was there on Tuesday. Adam kind of talked me into it. Josh kind of talked me into it. Going on Tuesday. And right when I sat down, because I was like, I told Adam and I told Brandon, our CEO, master, and all that stuff. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll try to get some videos of it. I'd like to get the video of my reaction to Judge. And right when I sat down, he hit the home run. And I was like, come on. And so I got jack shit off of that. I tried to do the rest of the game, but I was like, it's not even worth it. For some reason, my lights are just super bright right now, and the camera's not doing anything, so I turn into Jesus. Anyway, so this that was a really cool moment. I came in and Jason did his was talking about his thing and how we got to let bygones be bygones. Back in what was it 1961 when Maris hit the home run. I said this last night. They wanted to put an asterisk next to that home run record because Babe Ruth did hit 59 on like 152 games or 154 games, and Maris did it in 161 game or 62 games, and so they wanted to put an asterisk next to that, and I kind of understood it. I kind of think there needs to be an asterisk on the Barry Bonds record because. Like it or not, and listen, I'm not saying abolish that because look, the thing is that steroids weren't really illegal, and that androstenedione that everyone was taking wasn't illegal, and everyone was doing it honestly. So even pitchers. So there's kind of it's a muddy water thing, and obviously everyone has their opinion on it. But I think there should be an asterisk next to that one because what Aaron Judge did is pretty impressive. Hitting 62 home runs on no steroids, and he's not on steroids because they've been like times a week. I think that's what I heard. No,
I like I said, I covered Aaron Judge in college, and I can tell you, he is not on steroids.
Oh, okay. I thought you were disagreeing with my thing that they were testing him 3 times a week.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that. No.
And it's so stupid. They were like, oh, they want to turn a blind eye because it's Aaron Judge. And I'm like, then why did they then why did they bust Tatis? Because Tatis, everyone's been saying for the past 3 years, he's the face of baseball. So why would they? I don't know. I don't get why they wouldn't bust Judge, but they would bust Tatis. So
Maybe they want to get the Yankees back into the main spotlight.
I don't know. It makes
and
no
offense.
sense.
I don't know.
Logan, you might have heard of this. Did you ever listen to the podcast Crushed?
No.
So it's a Cardinals beat writer. Actually, it's a woman. I forget her name. And she grew up a huge Cardinals fan or whatever. And it's about the Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa home run race and like how that changed baseball. And then how steroids came into effect, everything. It's only like 7 or 8 episodes, but it's on Apple Podcasts. If any of y'all want to give that a listen, that's probably one of the better podcasts I've ever listened to. It's called Crush.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely listen to that. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I grew up whenever I was growing up. My dad used to tell me about Mark McGwire, and then he switched over to Albert Pujols. So I mean, it's just, I mean, I think, and let's be honest, those guys in the '90s, Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, and Sammy Sosa, they saved baseball. Ken Griffey Jr. also, and I mean, because baseball was down the toilet. So I think they need to be recognized, but I also think that the Judge is not getting enough credit for what he did clean. And a lot of people are saying like, oh, he hit it in Yankee Stadium. It doesn't really count because it's a short field. A lot of his home runs were home runs in all 30 parks. Would have been home runs in all 30 parks. So I think it was only 2 that wouldn't have been home runs.
That's the crazy thing to me is like if I hit the ball 360 dead to left field, who gives a shit where the porch is? It's 360 to left field. It's going out everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So it seems like a lot of fans are just during this whole, like, it should be a nice moment because they just hate Aaron Judge and they hate the Yankees and they love the home run race back in the 2000s and the 1990s.
But that's the thing. There's hardly any baseball fans anymore, like actual baseball fans, people that can appreciate the moment.
Yeah.
There's people that like casuals that will go to a game on a Sunday afternoon because they need something to do, or like people who will half-ass follow the local teams, but there aren't real baseball fans anymore. Like,
yeah, it was. So, but yeah, it was really cool. I like in the moment, I was freaking out. I jumped up and down and I hugged the lady right next to me. Because she was a Yankee fan and we were talking for a minute.
I'm scared to death not to hug you.
Yeah. Luckily, the Cardinals were not losing to the Phillies right then. So, but yeah, it was cool. Whenever Aaron Judge, I think the best moment was honestly when Aaron Judge came to the right outfield in the bottom of the first and got a huge standing ovation by everyone in the stadium. And then everyone was chanting MVP. If he doesn't win MVP, that's a huge snub. That's stupid. Honestly, I get Shohei pitches too. And he hits, but at what point is it like, okay, we get it. He does something that no one else does. When Aaron Judge almost hits for the Triple Crown and he breaks the AL record, I mean,
I'm more surprised that Judge hit over 300 this year than he hit 62 home runs, if that makes any sense. Because if you think about Judge from a hitting standpoint, like you think of a guy that's probably never going to hit over 300 in his career because of how often he strikes out, but yeah, this year he was just special, and he broke a record, so he absolutely deserves MVP.
Ryan, that makes a whole lot of sense because when I covered Judge in college, his best offensive season with Fresno State, he hit only 9 home runs the entire season and batted .289. He was not known for being a power hitter. He was known more for being kind of a pull hitter a little bit. Mm-hmm. And even when he was drafted, a lot of the scouts had one of their main knocks on him was that because he was too much of a pull hitter, he couldn't develop a true enough power swing to drive the ball out of the yard. So that makes complete total sense. You are right. You're hitting the nail right on the head there, my friend.
And he's so big, like his swing mechanics are so weird, you know. So like the fact that he hit 311 this year, like, is a fantastic personal accomplishment for him. And that's like, if you had told me before the year, like Aaron Judge is going to hit 62 home runs and hit over 310, I'd have laughed at you for the average part. But I could have been like, yeah, probably could hit 60.
I could see 62 home runs. I couldn't see the average. I could see 289.
The fact they hit over 300 blows my mind.
Like 289, 290, right in that area. I couldn't see 310, but good for him. I mean, it's a rare accomplishment, and with how many, I mean, he's one of the players that actually played almost every day, I think.
Yeah,
he played a lot.
Well, when you play with Gino Carlos Stanton, who doesn't play at all, is always on the DL. It's hard to get a break.
Honestly.
Maybe Judge will sign with the Pittsburgh Pirates in the offseason.
Listen, Nutting doesn't even have that. I think Judge makes more.
Aaron Judge is going to make more per year on his contract than the Pirates will pay for their whole payroll next year. Let's be honest.
I was just ready to say that. I think Corey Seager makes more than. I think Corey Seager and Marcus Semien combined made more than the Pirates payroll.
Mad Max does. He makes $43 million a year, and the Pirates, I think, shelled out 39, 38.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought we were at 61.
I don't even think it was that high.
No, I think that was the Guardians. I was going to say it's either like 39 or 48 between those.
It's awful. So, it's awful. It's fucking awful.
Reason why there needs to be a salary floor.
No, the money needs to get put back into the team, not growth in other countries.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I mean,
no cap, but the money should have to go back into the team, not overseas. It's
Adam.
We're building facilities over in Dominican.
Yeah. Adam, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. In 2014 and 2015, as a baseball fan, it felt great to see PNC Park sold out when they played in the wild card games those 2 years. And even though you guys didn't get the outcome you wanted, Pittsburgh is a great baseball town, and it has a great history. It's a great fan base there. And the Pirates have actually some really talented young players there to build around. Brian Hayes, O'Neill Cruz, and the like. But I agree with you, man. Bob Nutting, man, he needs to put up or shut up. You got to start. You got to start putting some zeros at the end of those checks, man. Make the Pirates relevant, because when the Pirates are relevant, it's fun to see PNC Park packed to the gills. It's one of the most beautiful ballparks in all of baseball, and it felt great as a baseball fan to see a great sports town, a great baseball town, go to that stadium and watch the Pirates. I hope it happens again in the near future.
I mean, even look at the Penguins. They had 17 years of sellouts.
Yep.
And
every time, no matter what, without fail, every episode of Seventh Inning Stretch or Cardinals Chronicles, someone brings up fucking hockey. It's like a bad omen here. I think. Oh my gosh,
where's Josh at when you need him?
Yeah, I was like, okay, cool, I'm safe here. Nope. Adam, no,
fucking Adam, fucking Adam, Jesus.
It's fine. But oh my gosh, it with the Central, even in both leagues, like, good Lord, the Central was so easy because the Cardinals. It was only the Cardinals and the Brewers, gave up in the second half. So, and then the AL Central, it was only the Guardians. They spent they had a budget too, and then they had a whole bunch of money to Jose Ramirez. And luckily it worked out for them. But I mean, the Twins paid a lot of money-ish, but that was only to one player. And anyways.
And geographically speaking, it makes sense that the Central would be the weakest division. If you think about where the populace of America is spread out, like, it's on the coasts, you know? So, like, people not going to games with the way baseball is results in, you know, not enough concessions, not enough ticket sales, not enough parking, not enough merchandise, which then turns into we're not going to pay as much because we want to make more. So, I mean, realistically speaking, the Central, you know, not being as populated as the coasts are is probably going to result in just teams being in low payrolls forever. But yeah, I agree with you, Logan. They need to make a salary cap floor.
Yeah. Quick question. Are we happy that Zach Campbell didn't get 62? Do we know who Zach Campbell is?
Yeah, I'm stoked. I am stoked.
I hate that guy. Ever
With a
since that
passion.
Rockies video, I think everybody has hated him. But oh my gosh, it drives me insane. Zach Campbell is the guy who goes to all the ballparks and he's caught like 11,000 baseballs. He caught Alex Rodriguez's 3,000th home run or 3,000th hit, which was a home run, and Mike Trout's first home run. And yeah, he's just a complete narcissistic asshole. So
What about the guy that has no arms and he goes to all the ballparks and throws out the opening pitch with his foot?
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was pretty cool. What were you gonna say, Ryan?
Mike Trout, dude, he hit 40 home runs in less than 120 games played this year.
Well, yeah. I was thinking about that. Like that would have been cool to have a Mike Trout, Aaron Judge home run race.
Well, this is how good Aaron Judge's season was. If Mike Trout plays 155 games, he only hits 52 home runs. I say only, relatively speaking, to 62, but
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, right. I thought he would have hit more. I was like, man, if he was not gone for a month and a half, he would have been on fire. But I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I wish Mike Trout would be healthier. Hopefully, he gets traded in the offseason. Do you think that that happens to make room for Ohtani?
Well, not only that, but here's another angle you have to look at it here, guys. Artie Moreno, the owner of the Angels, is selling that ball club, and they've lost money hand over fist. Not only that, but because that stadium deal that they were counting on to build a ballpark adjacent to where the current stadium is now was wrought with political controversy. Orange County politics here in California is flat out dirty. And they were counting on that stadium deal to bring a lot more money in so that Artie Moreno could actually pay more money to bring more players in. But that rug was completely slid out from under his feet. And if he wants to make the Angels a viable team to a buyer, he has to trade one of two guys, Shohei Ohtani or Mike Trout. They just gave Ohtani a 1-year deal. Guess what? That kind of puts Trout in the minority there.
Oh, yeah. Well, looks like you got to go, Jason. But do you have any last thoughts you want to say?
Last thoughts, I just want to say, great playoff baseball today, for better or worse, Logan. Hoping for more of the same tomorrow. Gonna have fun tomorrow. Let's catch up again. Let's do this again real soon. And as always, thanks for having me on the show. It's been a lot of fun talking ball with you guys tonight.
Yeah, I'll get in touch with you.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Dodger Jason. Follow me, leave some comments, let me know what's going great, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
You want to plug your show real quick or whatever you got going?
I have no freaking show whatsoever. I'm always on Adam's show. So let's let Adam plug his show, man.
Yeah, right.
He's always with me. He's a good guy.
Right.
All right.
Jason,
thanks again, guys. Gotta go.
See you.
Take
it easy.
Okay. Good night, guys.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe he doesn't have a show. I thought he did the movie thing with his brother. Maybe I'm wrong, but whatever. I think.
So Trout getting traded. I mean, that's a sticky situation because obviously he has a no movement clause, so he gets to basically hand pick wherever he's going to go. And the thing that terrifies me the most about this is, one, it's a realistic possibility he could end up a Philly. I mean, he grew up a Phillies fan. He just
grew up outside of Philly, and he's a huge Eagles fan.
It's realistic because we have all the problems in the world in center field since Shane Victorino left back in the early 2010s. But my biggest fear is the Yankees let Aaron Judge walk and go trade for Mike Trout, and he goes okay, and then we got to watch baseball's face for the last 10 years go play for the fucking Yankees.
Yeah. I don't think he goes to the Yankees. I think he has like a personal hatred for it.
I'm sure he does. I mean, it'd be super cool to see him end up in Philadelphia, but I just think it's going to be so hard to move him.
Schwarber, what an outfield!
That would be really cool. I honestly would want that just because Bryce Harper was the face of the NL for a couple of years, and then Trout was the face of the AL and Major League Baseball. and then they've been like really good friends too. So
Mhm.
they just went to a Eagles game last week, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Trout goes to most of the Eagles home games because obviously the Angels aren't playing in October, November.
Yeah, right.
And Trout's a season ticket holder, right?
Probably.
He might be. I don't know if he is, just because obviously he doesn't show up to the September games. But
I think he is. I think he is. I think him and his brother have season tickets for the Eagles.
I'm sure he does have season. Actually,
I'm
I
sure
think
he can
does.
upgrade
I
for
remember-
whatever he wants to sit now. With
Yeah.
being
I'm
able
sure
to
he can afford it even when he's not there.
Right. I'm sure he can just give them tickets away.
Adam, do you think Trout gets traded, and who do you think he goes to?
I'd like to see him go to Philadelphia. I think that'd be the one of the most dangerous outfields ever.
Yeah, it would be maybe not defensively, except for Trout, but yeah.
Oh, well, Harper's pretty good defensively too. He just can't throw right now.
Yeah. But yeah, that would be really cool. Obviously, as a Cardinals fan, I kind of that seems like a realistic thing to me, honestly. Just because what they did with Arenado, because that's how the Trout deal is going to have, or that any Trout trade is going to look like that. The Angels are going to have to pay $50 million or something, and they're going to only get like 2 minor league prospects back, if that. Maybe the Dodgers. I wouldn't
Dodgers
even
have the firepower.
I would think the Astros too, but I think Mike Trout would axe that one, honestly.
Yeah, just playing for the Angels for the last like 10, 11 years. He probably wouldn't want to go to the Astros at this point.
Also, with all the controversy surrounding them. So, but I like the Phillies. I like the Cardinals, obviously. I like, not right now. Maybe, not even the Rangers. I don't think the Rangers would be able to get him because I think the Angels would be pissed off about that. But anyways, I think he gets traded because the only person you can trade is Shohei Ohtani or Anthony Rendon, and Anthony Rendon has nothing.
He has no value. He wouldn't get a return.
They
He
couldn't
really
get
fell
anything.
apart. Rendon really fell apart. I know he's been injured, but still.
Another thing is nobody wants him because Anthony Rendon doesn't like baseball. He just, like, all the teams, whenever he signed that, I think it was like a 7-year deal with the Angels.
Yeah, 7 years, 124 mil, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But like everyone said they were surprised that he took the 7-year deal because they thought he would want a shorter deal so he could retire. Like, and no one wants and he just doesn't even like baseball and he doesn't care. And it sucks, but it's whatever.
The Angels have the worst luck with free agents. C.J. Wilson, Josh Hamilton, Albert Pujols. The list goes on and on. They just have awful luck with free agents.
Awful luck with pitchers too.
You think Yachty fans are annoying? Oh my gosh, Josh Hamilton fans were the worst.
They really were.
I honestly had to listen to those people, and I hated Josh Hamilton. And everyone was like, "Well, he's a Christian. You should like him." I'm like, "I don't like him. I think he's
what the fuck does that mean? I don't care if he's like a Judas or whatever. That makes no sense. Like, what?
My dad's a pastor, so I grew up in the church. So I have to. All those people are like, "Oh, you have to like this person because he's a Christian." Anyways, and then all of a sudden, he gets plugged for or kicked for his third like affair and drug stint, and everyone is like, "Oh, well, never mind. We never liked Josh Hamilton." Anyways, I think that's going to be it for tonight's episode. Do we have any final words?
What happened to forgive, forget? Isn't that the Christian way?
It went away whenever he started naming the strippers Forgive and Forget. Adam, you have anything you want to talk about before we go? Or
I just think some series are going to end tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to go tomorrow night. I'm still contemplating. If the Cardinals lose tomorrow, I'll probably be really angry. So
that's the best time to do a show, ain't it?
Yeah. I thought I was going to be calm. I was telling Ryan, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm really glad that the game ended at 5 o'clock. I'm a lot more calm right now than today. And then during the show, I kind of blew up.
Well, and the game is at 8 o'clock, right? They moved
Yeah.
that game to the 8 o'clock, right?
8:30.
Because they kept the Guardians in Tampa at 12 for some reason.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I don't know if there's weather coming through or what, but I thought that was weird. I thought they would have switched the two games and put the two games at 4 and whatever time the other game started early, and then move the other early games into the nightcaps. I thought that would have made sense.
I have no idea. You want to plug your show, Adam?
At Talking Sports, it is the Twitter handle. Talking Sports with is the name of it. I know we got to get our 2000 to 2019. I know Albert Pulis is going to be on that list for sure.
Is it 2000 to 2019?
2009.
Okay.
2000, 2009.
Oh, 2009 team. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like 2000.
Yeah, I thought that too. I was like, you changing the dates on us again?
No, but we need to figure out when we can do that show.
Yeah.
I know with playoffs going on, it's going to make it a little more difficult. So.
Well, I may be free soon because of job openings. So. But yeah, Ryan, you want to? You have anything to say and plug your show?
No, another good show, fellas. You can find me at Ryan BSing Sports. It's right down there, right down here. It's my Twitter handle. The link to our website's in my bio as well. So if you want to check out any BSing Sports content, it's up there.
Oh yeah, driving to the top. I forgot my production. Sorry, Logan. You said show. You caught me off guard.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my fault. And you guys can find me at the nearest strip club with Josh Hamilton, talking to Forgive and Forget. Yeah, hopefully Cardinals fans don't hate me too much tonight, but guess what? If you do hate me, I'm fine. Guess what? Yadier Molina is leaving. So we may have a show tomorrow. I don't know. Well, I'm sure we'll make an announcement if we do. Depends on how I feel, guys. If I wake up from this coma. So hopefully Ryan and Adam will be back soon. Thanks everybody. Peace out. Oh yeah. Live long and watch some damn baseball. Bye, Felicia's. Wait. Shit. Where's the outro?